All right.
Okay. Yeah, welcome
Here we
everyone.
are. Yet another league game for Samet.
Yeah,
Still, still
just
struggling.
just an ordinary game against a rather yeah, weak opponent who's about to demote probably, right?
Yeah,
And
still struggling to score his first points.
struggling to hold on to the pro league now. Just kidding. Of course, Ryan is currently again number one dreamer. You would know better than me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
I-
I'm sorry.
no, no, that's okay.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
happened
So
actually like in 2 days. I dropped about 120 euro. I was just
today, only today?
in 2 days. Yeah, I was
Oh,
just
in two
not
days. Okay,
I
I
I
understood today.
dropped.
Yeah.
No, no,
Yeah. Okay.
like
That's what I imagined. Ryan would play. Uh,
yeah, typical London system.
yeah.
Not new
But
here.
but there was a position that Andre played against him with Bishop G6, and I showed Summit some counter against that.
Yeah, there are different lines.
Yeah,
That
and
really depends
I
on.
imagined that Ryan would play it like this because the queen is probably not that good on D3. So
Well, at least it it just slightly better than on D1, I guess,
yeah, but
because it controls more squares.
yeah. But as far as I remember, you also like to put the queen onto C2 in such positions, right?
Yeah, at least I
I
have
think
an
it's
access
best
to
there, probably.
A4 just in case.
Yeah. Oh, but of course, queen C2 wouldn't be possible right now. Okay, I try to keep an eye on the chat if someone wants to say something. I mean, it's possible right now. I don't know. Will Summit see chat?
I don't think so. At least if he looks on his second screen, but
Let's
he
just
seems to
ask
be
him.
super concentrated right now.
If there's no answer in. Oh, okay. Okay, so I guess in that case, put spoiler message, right?
Yeah,
If you
typical
want to
spoiler.
comment on the game live. Mm, okay, yeah,
All right, pretty normal position for white.
yeah,
I guess for black too.
yeah. What do you think of taking on D6 to make it symmetrical?
I guess making it symmetrical benefits for black because they're
Yeah,
always the side that is struggling to level the
I
game.
actually really like the move Summit just thought of. Like, oh, maybe it's not that good because the knight can develop, right? But uh,
Yeah,
n- but knight e5 could be good. I'm not sure. But
I guess this is pretty the only idea in this position going for knight e5. Uh,
yeah,
Maybe going for a long castle, but that requires some
mm,
some accurate play beforehand.
yeah.
Otherwise, you're gonna get destroyed immediately on the queen side.
I don't like the battery of black looking onto G3 for uh white. I don't like it. Like,
Well, at least black pieces are controlling e5 against
yeah,
white pieces, and in at any moment you can just trade on g3 and then play
yeah.
something like knight g4.
Hmm.
I don't know.
You could try to play knight G4 even before trading. Not sure though about that because you might.
Well, at least while the white bishop is on g3, it protects f2. So I
Yeah,
don't really see the idea of knight
yeah.
g4. I don't know.
I guess the queen also protects e3. Yeah, but well, um, hmm, you allow your other knight to come forward, right?
Yeah, that could be
And
also
white
handy.
cannot really play h3. So
Yeah.
I like black position better here, definitely.
No, I would say the position is pretty much level. Now it's really up to white to choose the plan. Firstly, where to castle,
Yeah.
and then what to do next.
Okay, Andre showed me how to get the separate chat. Nice. So I guess in that case, I'm going to close the stream.
Oh, there's a separate chat in Twitch. Wow. Personally, I would keep the original stream to see how much Summit is suffering.
Ah,
At least I know he's being concentrated right now.
yeah,
That makes me feel better.
yeah. Did you bet on the outcome or I
Nah,
didn't?
the odds
Okay.
were too bad for me. I
Yeah,
would have loved to bet on Summit, but
but
I'm not
I'm
sure.
rooting so much for him. But it's a hard task.
Yeah, but well, you never know.
Yeah, in our hearts, we are all believers, Levon. I think I got it right last on my stream. No, I'm not sure again. Uh, uh, I don't like that. Queen e2
I
doesn't look
think Summit
very
is
active.
trying to change the pawn structure, and it's pretty reasonable, at least for 2D standards.
Yeah,
Well, in fact, this position is has lost any 5D threats, so players are up to find a plan in 2D
yeah.
wise. So
But
they gotta
uh,
use their 2D skills right now.
now black could take the square e4, right, to prevent uh, e push, at least e pawn push.
Yeah, probably something like knight e4 and maybe even knight d f6.
Yeah, like white would have to take immediately if he doesn't want a knight lodged on e4 forever, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't look that appealing.
Well, if immediate knight e4 happens, maybe something like uh, knight takes e4, d takes e4, and knight d2 with immediate
Yeah.
attack on the e4 pawn.
Oh, interesting.
All right, h5 by Ryan, trying to shake the white bishop.
Yeah, I think the white bishop though might be fine now on h4.
I don't know because white's bishop on h4 doesn't do anything, like no threats at all.
Well, he's still defending f2, and he can't get away from there, right? And it's better than allowing h4 for black.
Well, h4 isn't a big threat, I think. At least you can capture on d6, trade your bishops, and play on.
Yeah, maybe.
But
So,
h5 also allows black to swing their rook, like rook
uh,
h6, rook g6
yeah,
at
that's
some point.
something Summit has to keep in mind, right?
And Ryan loves to do this. So Summit has to be careful here.
Andrew said that if knight e5 immediately, 94 immediately, knight e5, and then something queen h5. At least that doesn't work now, right? With
Yeah,
h5, e5, h5 played.
yeah. Players always have to be careful when moving
Mm.
their f knights because that allows some tricks like queen
Yeah,
to h5, h4 jumps.
I guess in this case it's okay for Summit if he does so, because he has this f pawn like covered twice, right?
Yeah. All right. Knight g5. I guess he's trying to do something like knight takes e6 or knight takes f7, weakening black's structure, weakening
Yeah,
white squares, and possibly intruding with his queen there
yeah. Now
into
that
the game.
the h pawn moved, right, he might have some ideas of getting his queen to g6.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he moved his queen already away from d3, right? Well, but on the other hand, he needs his queen on e2 now to like to cover f2, because if his queen would be on d3 now, black could just trade the bishops, right? And then the f pawn would be undefended again in the past.
Yes, but I don't see how black
Yeah, it's
quickly
hard for
gets
black
to
to
f2.
get his queen right into that part of the board again. Uh,
Maybe, but still not easy to find a way.
yeah, I like Summit's position now better, actually, because he can now like maybe reinforce with his other knight, and then yeah,
I just looked at Samet's expression and he's already like his mind is being blown.
it's just his concentration phase.
Yeah,
Here.
he can't proceed so much information at the moment, like so many calculations.
But I mean, at least he's the one who has remote mating threat on the board right now, right? I don't
Yep,
see
yep.
anything for Ryan at the moment. As you said, h5, h4 that probably doesn't cut it now because the bishop will just exchange, and I also don't see the rook come to. Oh, okay, so he trades. He castles. Huh, interesting. Okay, he only
I
thought about
guess
it, I guess.
Ryan, I guess Ryan is fine with, I don't know, giving up f7
Yeah,
isn't
that
doesn't
can't be
seem
good
fine to
though,
me,
right?
but
Yeah, like
yeah,
you
but
even
also if
even are forced to like trade the bishop then, right? Because after
yeah,
knight takes f7, if you move one of the rooks, your bishop is hanging.
yes, yes, exactly.
And so he has to basically trade the bishop. Then you can trade the rook on d8 with check. Oh, I guess it's not immediate check. Huh. Oh, it is because the king was on e8 before, right? So
Yeah, but the question is it worth trading a knight for a rook? Because in the end game, as we see,
yeah,
in the most cases, white pieces are better than rooks because they
yeah.
have more 5D threats.
Okay, so he trades first anyway.
Yeah, and now if he castles, that means he's fine with giving up an exchange.
Yeah, I guess. On the other hand, it's not just the exchange, right? Like,
An exchange and a pawn,
um,
I guess.
it might even be 2 pawns.
Uh, where
Like
is
if
this?
you take the rook, well, you can take with the other rook, but you can also take with the queen or the king. But if you just take with the other rook, white could immediately sack his own exchange for a second pawn, right?
Yeah, that's also an
On
opportunity.
h5, but maybe it's not that good because uh, I mean white can't castle, right? Because he didn't Summit didn't
Uh,
cover b2 for a long time.
if you go for long castle, yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
dangerous right now. But in the short way, I think at least it isn't necessary to castle right now for white. But
yeah.
in the future, probably Samet can castle in the short.
I mean, what do you think of taking the exchange and then developing your rook to... Oh, no, it doesn't work because h4 uh, is met with g5, right? And the rook has to go back again. That's a bummer. Well,
Yeah, it's a tricky question whether you take an exchange or not.
yeah.
Because again, 2D wise, it's definitely better to have an exchange, to be an exchange up. But in 5D chess, in the most cases, white pieces perform better.
Uh,
And it is quite difficult to find an active spot for your rooks, even in this position where there are so many pawns,
mm.
like
So I
no
guess
open piles.
if he doesn't want to take the exchange, he has to uh,
He
he has
could
to go to
retreat,
g5 again, right?
yeah.
So that he covers.
Also hitting e6 pawn.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess not taking the exchange here would be better for black.
For black or for white.
For white, yeah, sorry. I mixed up the colors in my head.
Happens.
Yeah.
This reminded me of Lexi ending again and 5 seconds later asking, wait, which color did I play? I'm like, I'm being like, oh, come on.
Mm. I guess Summit should just move.
That's a good suggestion.
Yeah, like I think it's uh not a lot of benefit here.
Samet, stop looking in chat. Make a move. You gotta move. Well, it's pretty
Like
creative.
maybe he's debating on taking on g7, but I don't think that's
On
that good.
G7,
Yeah, on g7 with a travel,
like
but
traveling 2 turns back. I don't know.
oh, okay, he wants to take the exchange. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you check the enemy king in like in the present, right? And
But then I guess something
you are
like
also like um maybe able to go to, oh, interesting. Ryan doesn't even take.
yeah. Well, probably there was some ideas connected with knight to g7 travel, uh, but I guess that should happen to a position where the white knight is on f7 already, because the
Yeah.
east x pawn becomes undefended. But I guess though
Oh,
the black king has already stepped away.
yeah, and
Maybe
this,
not that.
yeah, you have to travel somewhere where the king is in the vicinity of the knight
Yeah.
still, right? Otherwise, it's just wasted travel. Oh,
Samet is gone insane right now. He can't
so
take it
why not knight f3? He considered it first. Okay, he's considering it again now. I think that's just a better move, right?
Yeah, knight f3 or rook f1. Uh, But I'm thinking knight f3 would be slightly better, because there are some tricks like knight takes f2 from black and followed up by queen takes g3. Might be very unpleasant for white
Yeah,
here.
that was for rook f1, what you just said, right?
Yep, yep. So knight f3 might
Yeah.
prevent that at some
Also,
point.
knight h2, or what did you say? Uh,
Knight h2 after rook f1.
yeah.
Um, Maybe,
Oh,
but
yeah,
at least we can give up the exchange back.
yeah. And white can also just. Ah, no, no, it's not that easy. Well, white can save his uh h8 knight then, right? But ooh, I don't like castle in this position.
Yeah, the
I
position might be very shaky after the castle.
I really hope he does this knight f3. I think that's his best bet, though he's probably not completely. Uh, ooh, it doesn't
Samet
look
must be
good.
Samet must be commentating in his head right now. So chat, what do we do? Knight f3
Yeah,
or knight?
knight g6, rook takes f2, knight e7, I guess, check. And then it might work, actually.
Which variant once again?
Knight g6, and if rook takes f2, knight e7 check, and then
Okay.
take the rook with the queen. And if
Ah,
he
and then
retakes,
you,
then you can travel to
yeah, e8, yeah.
e8, right?
But what if I don't know? What if black takes with knight on f2?
Then you can probably just uh, do rook f1, or no, you probably would have to do knight f4 to prevent queen takes g3, right? Oh, that looks
Yeah, because
so oh
after
dangerous.
capturing on f2, yeah, after capturing on f2, there is a trick like moving the piece away with check and followed by queen takes g3, and I guess that's what is Ryan going for right now,
Yeah.
because like in this position you can't take on f8, because black will reply with knight d3, and queen g3 will be immediate checkmate.
Huh. What
Might
about
have
queen f3?
if we go insane, we go 100% insane.
Yeah, like queen f3, and then uh on knight check first? I'm not sure. Uh,
Queen f3, knight d3. You can't go onto f file because rook takes f3 with check. So I
yeah, you
guess
have to
king
go to
e2.
e2, and then knight f6, and he prevents any shenanigans, I guess. And um, I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
seems
It's very
seems
rough.
pretty bad.
Very, very rough.
I hope Samet will spot that tactic connected with knight jump followed by queen g3. But seems he doesn't see it at the moment.
Yeah, it's
Let's
ah
just pray for Samet.
doesn't see it. It seems, yeah. Uh, no, no, no. Ah,
Alright, looks like we're going down.
yeah, no. Well, congrats, Ryan, I guess, on staying in the Pro League.
Yeah, it was very hard, but he achieved that.
And I don't know what goes on in Summit's mind right now on the stream, because he has to know now that he's lost, right? Oh, damn it.
I'm looking at Samet's face expression and I can't really interpret what is going on with him. Sudden realization.
Oh,
Kinda delayed though, but still he realized that he has been checkmated. After
oh,
seeing the arrows.
yeah. Now we could probably Super Summit 5D Smash Brothers or something, right? With the black pieces. Let's see.
Well, at least he has been brave here and went for knight f7, we gotta admit. So he didn't
Yeah,
go the full defense.
I think knight g6 was also really, really interesting move. And I'm not sure that white is completely lost here, because as I said, queen f3 probably, then
Yeah, white totally isn't lost here.
yeah.
The position is tricky, but not lost, definitely.
Okay, so again, standard opening, standard London system. Do you think white is favored in these lines, or?
Well, I thought white is better in these lines, like back when I was playing the London system, like when I was the only one to play it. But recently, I saw some lines where black gets enough compensation right in the
Mm.
open, and they don't struggle with any threats from the white side. So I guess this opening have become pretty even for both sides.
Yeah, interesting. I still like to play other stuff than the London system though, because yeah, I guess I didn't follow all of the meta development when I had my hiatus. And yeah, so I
Yeah, I do agree.
usually get
Sometimes,
blasted as black with the London system, so I really like to play something else at the moment.
yeah. Also, people have become pretty acknowledged of all the early threats in the London system. So usually now it becomes very boring to play
Uh,
these structures. Like it's pretty hard to find a way to proceed after the development.
so now all the bishops are down, right? And
Yeah,
so the
there
knights
usually
can
nothing
come out to
changed.
play, basically. The queen isn't fast enough to pivot to threaten f7 again, I think.
And Samet goes for it instantly.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. Like you have to take the initiative, right? Somehow.
Yeah, at least now he's aware of the possible threat with like sacrificing on
Oh,
f7 followed by queen
interesting.
g6, I guess, at
I
some
think
point.
that's interesting. From so
Yeah,
now everything is covered twice, basically, right? Uh,
yeah,
but
that's a novelty, I guess, from Ryan.
yeah.
Basically, what knight f1 does is covers both g3 and d3 for
Mhm.
any possible sacrifices from
But I
black.
mean, it's going to weaken weaken e4 momentarily if he wants to we cover that square. I guess he can go to g3 with the knight, right? But then he doesn't cover e3 again. So I'm not sure.
Well, e3 isn't much of a threat right now for
Yeah,
white. They can always play like queen d3 or something like that. But
yeah, I
yeah,
guess.
black can spend like two moves to reroute their d7 knight to e4 and put some additional pressure. And I think Samet executes this plan right now.
What I'm what I'm scared of for white is after like knight g3, black could try to take on e3 immediately. White has to retake, and
Mhm.
then black might have a travel to the knight on g3 later, right? Because it's 3 moves into the pass, so the knight can't retake. Whoo, okay,
Yeah,
so
but I guess in this case,
I,
white can just play queen f2. No, right after the draw. I mean,
oh, maybe, yeah,
so they don't capture on g3. They just play queen f2 and block the check.
yeah, I guess that's right. Yeah,
But then I don't know, maybe something like queen takes f2 because the black's second knight is already on f6. Maybe some knight e4 checks could arrive. I don't know. That requires some future calculation.
I guess Ryan's position seems pretty safe here. Like, just sacking the knight now doesn't seem to accomplish anything for black, right? So the knight probably has
The
to move
only
back,
idea,
and it's it doesn't look very well placed at the moment at h6. Black would probably have to play g6 to get it to f5, and maybe queen e7 is also a way, right? But that might be a little bit too passive. I don't know. Maybe it's okay.
yeah,
Uh,
if Ryan succeeds with pushing the black knights back, so he gets a pretty solid position to play with.
yeah, I guess.
But the only idea I see for black right now is taking on probably e3 and playing knight e4 with the possible trial onto e3 at some point,
But uh,
something like that.
won't that like? Well, maybe yeah. You could maybe do that. Like maybe get the queen as well to f4 and then just take the knight on e3 so that it can't retake after travel,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, because h3 also always gives the opportunity for some queen g3 jumps. So you have to be careful with playing it. And it seems like Samet is considering some kind of sacrifice right now.
Yeah, but probably he's only considering f2 at the moment, right? Hmm.
Yeah, judging by his mouse movements, he's looking at something like knight takes f2, queen takes f2, knight e4. But then I guess even queen h4 from white could be enough.
Well, I guess knight f2 might be a good sack after all, because hey, so he did it now. Because
And Samet's opposite for it.
after queen takes, the knight immediately comes to e4 again, right? And then the queen has to move somewhere. And
Yeah, I think like queen h4 could be sufficient for white.
but
I don't see
that opens up knight to e3 later, right? Oh no, the knight is still covering.
the knight is,
Damn it.
yeah, yeah. That's why Ryan put it here.
Well, I guess if you do something crazy like I don't know, g4 or some g5 to deflect the queen. Oh no, it doesn't work because the knight can still take, right?
Yeah, not sure if
Hmm.
this is the right play for black right now. Andre is bombing the chat with his spoilers.
Yeah. So Anu says travel to e3, f takes e3, knight takes e3, check, queen takes knight takes f3, queen takes g3. But that doesn't work, does it? Uh,
Mm,
oh, it
I'm not
might.
sure which position he talks about.
Yeah, I think he talks about next move, like the position where the white pawn moved to h3. Next move, the black knight can travel to that e3 square, and
Oh,
then
yeah, I see.
after retakes, the queen can mate. But it's only a soft mate, right? And the queen
Also,
has a lot of travel opportunities from h4, so it might be very dangerous for black to go for the
we should
travel.
also notice that uh, the knight
Oh,
roll would be 2 turns back. So after like
yeah,
f takes a3, knight takes a3,
yeah.
Ryan
The
has
pawn
the
can retake, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you're taking from the original timeline. Could also be possible,
yeah,
despite opening the file to the king.
yeah. I don't think it will work then, Andre. Uh, I think taking is forced, Levon, because you check the king on e1 on the main timeline if you have a knight on e3 in a secondary timeline. So you have to retake as right. But as we just mentioned, the second time white can retake with the pawn. So you can first retake with the knight, basically, right? And then the second time with the pawn, and then there's no open line to the king on from g3.
I have a question for chat. Chat, what would you prefer, to have an extra piece and be in defensive mode, or be a piece down but have some kind of attack? What would you prefer?
I know what I would answer.
Yeah, The chat
Well,
says attack
C3
is better.
sphere did an interesting spoiler, like Queen G3, Queen takes G3, Knight E2 travel. But I think that's definitely not a forced line, right? Because on E2 the knight doesn't check the king immediately, so the
Yeah,
king can
yeah,
just move away. But it might be an
exactly.
interesting counter travel if like, but as a counter travel it's not far enough, right? So it's doesn't really seem that, yeah, forcing.
All right, I want to see Samet's expression. He's really in a deep thinking. He has some kind of attack, but he seems to be running out of pieces
Yeah,
from
he
attack.
also has to think of defense as well right now, right? Otherwise
Nah,
he might
I
get
guess.
sacked onto F7.
Yeah, I guess if Ryan intercepts the initiative, then it's pretty much over for Samet.
Mhm. Like G6 might be a good defensive move here for Summit because, yeah, the queen seems not to have a lot of. Well, it maybe could go to F4, but
Yeah, Queen to F4 is also
yeah,
in some
and
kind of forcing the trade, I guess, because it
I
hits
guess,
F7
yeah,
from there.
I guess, mm, I guess knight takes E3 is the thing that Summit just thinks about right now. It looks like it.
Knight takes C3,
E3, like
E3.
the travel, judging on his like expansion of the board to the past.
Yeah, I guess he has to go for it. Otherwise, what was the sacrifice on F2 made for?
Hmm.
Is it Samet thinking, or is he regretting his decisions? I don't know.
I think he's still thinking.
And now he's praying, and now he's sleeping, and he's sleeping and regretting at the same time.
Don't think he's out of the game yet, but uh,
But being down a piece in such undefended position is
yeah,
quite
it's
terrible, I guess.
pretty terrible. Yeah, but he might still have a queen travel later, right? Like Ryan cannot overextend as well. Uh,
But I guess Ryan will just very steadily exchange the queens and then be pretty fine here with an extra piece.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't really see a lot against queen F4 at the moment. Uh, like maybe G5 is really the kind of craziness you need to go for right now, right? And doesn't
But
look that good.
don't you get scared by queen h5?
Yeah, I do. But as I said, if queen travels to h7, right, and you might have a counter travel to knight e2.
Well, yeah, yeah, that's a good point.
So if black can somehow so Summit can somehow like bait Ryan into traveling first, right? Because he thinks, oh, that's such a clear mate or something. But
Yeah, but how do you how do you bait him,
yeah,
like
I don't know.
going for a short castle? I don't know. Andre sees a good idea, I think, with
I
knight
guess he could
takes c3.
try to do queen c7 and threaten queen a5, something.
That seems too slow in this position for Samet.
But at least
Andre,
you're able in this way to like not trade your queens, right? Because if he does g6, queen f4 seems to take all the juice out for Summit, right? Out of the position. Because in that case he basically has to trade queens. Um, I don't think that queen e7 will be enough to defend, and well, maybe he might have a travel with queen e7 onto the queen on h4, but that one is covered as well from the knight. So, I think queen c7 really might be a way to still have a threat onto c3, right? Because on c3 there's not a lot of white pieces, and so hmm,
but you also shouldn't abandon e7 because there are like queen e7 95 threats
yeah, that's right.
possible.
That's right. You can't really do anything
So
there as
maybe
well.
maybe going for knight takes c3 could have given some chances
Hmm. Let's see what
to Samet.
Ryan is up to now. Well, at least there's no like queen f6, right?
Oh yeah.
And with g6, I think queen. What would you play as black against queen f4? I think that's probably the best move here for white.
Which one?
Queen
After queen
f4.
f4.
Yeah.
I don't know, really. Being down a piece there seems
Hmm.
pretty terrible. And trading queens like a straight route to the loss.
Yeah.
I
So
don't
so
know, it's
queen
quite hard.
queen e7 in that case, and then uh I, I
Mm,
guess you might be
Queen
able to
e7, but
defend.
it
I'm not sure.
still
Like
seems kinda waste.
the knight was on f6 not that long ago, right? I'm not sure. Wait, when can the white queen
I
travel?
guess a couple moves ago, because you can see on the previous
Like
board, the black has played knight e4.
yeah. So if 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 white does queen f4 now, right? Um,
Yeah,
I
maybe
think
traveling
he
to
he
f7
will have
isn't.
to wait one more move before like the queen can travel to a board where the knight already moved away from f6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if the knight is still
Yeah.
on f6, it doesn't achieve a lot for white, right?
Yeah, but I guess the best route for white would be to the board like on the previous, I guess it's 15th turn, like right after Samet played knight e4, because
Yeah,
queen
yeah,
travels
yeah.
to f7,
That's what I meant. And
and then knight e5 with double check.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's pretty much killing
yeah.
on the spot.
But white would have to wait one more move before he can do that. And but when Black just has to move his queen away to not trade. Uh, like what can he do? Like queen f4, queen e7, and then white can do a waiting move, and it's probably some really nasty waiting moves, like maybe even knight e5 or something, right?
Yeah,
And black, uh, hmm, really doesn't look good for white here, I think. For black, I mean, for Summit.
yeah, it's pretty hard to find any ideas for black right now in this position. Yeah, knight e5 is also a good move that I saw because it first it blocks the black queen, the access to the diagonal, and it also hits f7.
Yeah, but actually I like queen f4 better because uh now black might be able to defend from c7, right? And white doesn't have an immediate threat to like to exchange the queens again. But it's probably
But what
still
about
enough
if
for white.
yeah, what about if after queen c7 Ryan plays queen f4 and then he proceeds with the idea
Yeah,
which we
yeah, that's right. So then
described.
and f5 now doesn't really work, right? Oh, g5 probably doesn't work as well,
g5?
I think.
Yeah,
Uh,
but f5 on the other point.
yeah, or f5 doesn't work, I think, because of knight takes c6.
Yeah,
That's yeah, quite devastating, I think.
yeah, I agree.
Though you might be able to do rook f8. No, it's not working because I don't know.
Samet definitely should be searching for some kind of scam right now.
Yeah,
He has to pull out
but
a
where
big
to?
scam out of nowhere. But from where, I
Ooh.
don't know.
Okay, so what did he do? f6.
F6?
Don't think f6 covers against queen f4, right?
Yeah, also it drops g6.
As well, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
that's
same
true.
way.
That's true. Hmm. No, it's not the same way because now with f6, if white takes on g6, black can castle.
Oh, that's actually a good point.
That would be hilarious. I
No,
think
that would
in
be
that
very
case,
efficient, I guess.
if white goes for g6, oh why? Oh, I think he saw it. He just like
Wait.
pointed at the castle with his mouse, right? So
Yeah,
if he
but
castles now, I think black is actually better because it might even be devastating for white later that he now has the g3 square like open again, right?
yeah, if Samet succeeds with running his king away, he should be pretty fine. But there is one thing we should be careful about.
Yeah,
You see, there is a distance of two squares between the knight and the king. The f7 square uh, uh,
yeah.
is empty right now, so Ryan might be able to pull off something like knight e7 check and followed by queen h5
Not
because
if Summit immediately travels. That is
if he castles then knight e7 check, queen takes f7 and queen h5, and the f7 square has been empty two boards in the past, so I guess the checkmate will occur.
um wait, the knight checked. Yeah, it will be a checkmate. That's right. Damn it.
Yeah, too close, but this doesn't work, sadly.
So
I
what about h5 then?
Yeah, I guess Samet has just realized this.
Oh god. I think h5 might actually still save it, right?
Um, I don't know, but
No, no,
what
no,
about
no.
then?
Just knight takes, right?
Yeah, knight takes h8 and
Yeah. Ah, damn it.
literally nothing to defend with.
But he's not in check yet, so he might have a trouble.
He should have just prepared to Jurassic like he does every time, and then pray for some scam.
No, but
before.
he can't do a Jurassic now, right? Because he will be in check next move.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
So he has to travel now, basically, if he wants to travel.
But he doesn't even have any good travel. It's so
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, because the knight blocked the queen from traveling to
Yeah,
um
exactly.
g3, right? And now also I think knight traveling to e3 doesn't cut it anymore, right? Because the queen is always defending on the diagonal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
damn it. It's really unfortunate that castling here is made in two. Mm,
yeah,
mm,
that's sad. Pretty sad.
yeah. I guess instead of f6, Summit might uh
Imagine if Kaslin worked here, he could have just escaped and waved his middle finger.
Oh, what about knight g3?
Knight g3 with what idea? Like,
With like preventing the mate on h4 for one turn, and then you can maybe trouble next turn.
well, if you have a reasonable travel, probably, but I don't see one.
So next turn, where would he travel to?
Also, Samet probably should take a glance on his
Ah,
clock.
that doesn't work, I think. Hmm. Like maybe now knight g3, but oh no, okay. It doesn't look like a lot here. Yeah, I think that's over.
Yeah, I guess Samet just couldn't find anything better.
Oh, but I think if with knight g3 you might had. Oh no, that's a bummer. If knight g3 and knight retakes on g3 and you travel to g3, the knight can retake on g3, right,
Yeah,
from the
like on the
future.
next move.
That's a bummer. So yeah, it doesn't seem like anything is still saving here. Well, Simon played very active. I think he did
Yeah, at
quite
least he
well.
tried. At least he
Yeah,
pushed forward.
I think that's the best he can do against Ryan, right? Otherwise, Ryan will just slowly crush him positionally. Like, for instance, this knight f1 move, right? Everything was protected. Ryan would soon have a long castle available because the queen was always covering b2 and
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And he can't even play King e7. What a pity.
yeah. Well, yeah.
That's what the decisive factor of these games.
I'm back.
Hey, Samit.
Uh,
Yeah.
I fucked up.
You did well.
At least he tried.
This is hard. This is like really hardcore 2D chess player, right?
Yeah, GG's to
so
Ryan. Well played,
yeah, it
Ryan.
was you did quite well.
I'm really
Like,
curious to hear you guys back. I had some ideas, and obviously they didn't work out very well.
yeah. The we the
I don't know
the long
if.
castle. I would have so wished for you that the long castle would have worked after f6. It's
Yeah.
but,
I know.
yeah.
I thought I considered for I spent like 8 minutes on that one move,
Yeah.
and I was wondering. Well, let's see, where was it? It was, I guess, here after the queen h4.
After queen h4 to travel back to e3 probably,
Yeah,
right?
I was.
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to
Yeah.
figure out like how to make that work if I could, and I couldn't keep my eyes off of knight c3, but I really don't think, or knight takes c3, but I really don't think that there was anything that would come of it. It's hard
Yeah,
to
we
know though
didn't
what like
see a
travels you
lot
enable for
either.
yourself. So I was
Yeah.
trying to figure out like, okay, so like knight takes c3, and then if just b takes c3, queen a3. I mean, the issues I kept coming back to was like if he just pulls his queen down to h4, then he can just travel and beat me. So that's why I ended up not doing it. But if you like queen over there, and then you can get to this pawn or get to like b2 and then travel to like the pawn in the past or the rook or something like that. I don't know, but yeah. And then the previous game, I calculated sacking the queen, and then at the last minute, like for the rook and the knight, to get my knight onto e7 and threaten the travel. But then for some reason, I just didn't do that. And then
That's
he had
sad.
maiden
That's-
too, and that was like really that was my plan. And I was like, why sack a queen when I can just take a free rook? It's like, oh yeah, because I lose the game. It was silly.
Take a free piece.
I
No,
should have
see a
learned
free
what,
piece, take a
Dreamer?
free piece.
See
Sorry,
a free
Dreamer.
piece, take a free
Yeah,
piece.
exactly.
No,
Yeah. That was Ryan. That was Ryan conditioning me for these
never
games. I know.
Okay.
Oh shit. I'm really curious to go back and hear what you guys had to say about the games though. I think they were interesting games.
Yeah, they were
We
quite
were
interesting
praying
games.
for you. Not
I
much.
would.
Oh,
Sorry,
shit.
Dreamer, you go first. Sorry.
Yeah, I think well, you at least you pushed for a win in both games. I have to admit that was pretty brave from you.
Well, that's because I felt like in an end game where we trade down, he's just such a better 2D player than I am that I was going to somehow just get destroyed. And so
Yeah,
in the
today
mid game, I really tried to like make something happen. So that was definitely like my focus. I mean, it didn't super work out, but yeah, I wanted to not just kind of like get crushed like on board. I wanted to like try to make some stuff happen, because I feel like that's kind of how I lost to you, Dreamer. Is like I didn't have very many like there was no point in the games where I was super like, okay, I got this. Except wait, no, one of the games I had like a tactic that I missed. I forgot about that, but yeah, I didn't want to just get crushed slowly, so
Yeah.
Well, you did pretty good in the first game at least.
No,
Yeah,
thanks,
that's-
man.
You should have proceeded with your ideas.
I know,
Why
I
not?
know. No, it was bad. I panicked.
You could have also
yeah.
not taken the exchange in the first game, and like were already a pawn up.
I considered it, yeah.
Right? And I think knight back to g5 would also been quite solid.
I just didn't feel good enough about just the pawn, you know. I didn't think that I could convert it.
Yeah,
to a
but I
winning position.
really liked knight g6 after Ryan's.
Oh, thank you. I'm proud of the
uh,
knight g6. Yeah.
That was beautiful, and I didn't immediately see it, but yeah, I think it would have worked out for White. Like,
Yeah.
Chad was also thinking that after knight, so after rook takes f2, White definitely wins. I
Yeah,
think.
after
Like,
rook takes f2, I was
just take
hoping he
and
would
then-
just walk into it. Yeah, because you take and
Yeah.
then you have the travel for free for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
But as
and
result,
also
you
after
Bahrain's a good
after
player,
knight takes f2,
so it didn't happen. Yeah.
after knight takes f2, queen takes f2 probably still wins.
I think it probably does, but I'd have to go back.
Yeah.
Well, it's spilt milk, I suppose. I'll go back and look over the games, and I'm curious to. I really want to hear you guys' commentary. But thank you so much for doing this, by the way, especially Dreamer, who kind of got like volunteered for it. Thanks for playing along, Dreamer. I'm sure that it was really insightful. We also don't hear much from
Oh,
you.
you know, one good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The good thing about being a commentator is I can be free to disconnect, to lose
Right.
my Wi-Fi connection,
Yeah,
and
no,
freely
it's
connect
very
back,
true. Yeah.
and nobody will ever notice.